Gonzaga. They made 23 threes on the road at Washington State, as you just said. This Santa Clara team, high-powered offense, and this is a team that really, truly believes they need to win 3 games in 3 days. They think they can do it and steal a bid into the NCAA tournament. The tap controlled by Pepperdine, and so the Waves will have the ball first.
Well, Todorovic has been great, but so is the guy with his hands on the ball right now. Odom has 3 consecutive double-doubles. And those are points and assists for him. He's been outstanding.
He had an all-time finish to the game 2 nights ago. His first shot of the night tonight is no good. Rebound Santa Clara Broncos starting 5. Can't get it to you fast enough because Tyree Bryan launches a 3 and makes a 3.
If you don't match up in transition, they're going to do that every single time.
That's what they do. A really good offensive team. Todorovic to try to answer, no good. Sort of fell off balance at the end of that shot. Johnny O'Neal, one of their big men, he'll bring the ball up. Everybody can handle the ball. Everybody can shoot.
You can't go under any on-ball screen when you play the Broncos.
Tilly kind of got pinned on the baseline.
That was a bad pass.
Not a good pass. He got away with it. Carlos Stewart elevates, and he hits the 3.
We'd like to welcome you to Santa Clara basketball. if you haven't watched this team, I mean, this is what they do. They're fun to watch. And they look like an NCAA tournament team so frequently. But there's 3 or 4 games that just kind of makes you question it and takes them out of that consideration. Now they got to earn it here in Vegas.
Yeah, very good point. If Santa Clara hadn't lost a couple of the games that they lost, especially early in the year, the Broncos might be in the field right now. First bucket for Pepperdine, much needed to sort of calm down the early minutes. That was the point guard, Mo Odom. So now the Broncos skip it over the top. That's Adama Alpha ball. His 3, no good. And Odom tracks down the long rebound. Rebounding those long misses, Sean, that's going to be a factor. A whistle and a foul away from the ball. Pepperdine's head coach, his first year. There is a contrast. It's not just a contrast in the rosters and the style of play. The stability at Santa Clara. Herb Sendek's been there for 9 years. Ed Schilling, brand new coach, new staff, almost entirely new roster. Tough year. And really cool story that they've made it to this quarterfinal game.
Well, it starts to lay down the foundation of what this program potentially can be.
There is a lot of history of Pepperdine.
Did you know Doug Christie played there?
He's one of their all-time greats.
Steve Nash played for Santa Clara.
And we have alums of both schools. That was a travel. Tilly just a little too casual there. Who have gone on to great basketball careers. Pepperdine before this year, so St. Mary's won the league back-to-back years outright in the regular season. No team other than Gonzaga had done that since Doug Christie's Pepperdine teams a long time ago.
Well, when I was an assistant coach in this conference for Pepperdine, they were the team that was competing with Gonzaga. And it's a great campus. They got a new facility they're trying to break ground on and trying to get going, which I think is important. But Pepperdine has a rich tradition. In all sports, so many great players. Like Josh Oder was a great baseball player, lefty, good swing, contact guy. His wife Dana actually was a star on the soccer team too, but that's a whole other story. Pepperdine has a commitment to great athletics, and in basketball, part of the problem has not been getting talent. They've sent guys to the pros in recent years, but it's about getting that talent to gel and compete on the same page.
I think we're kind of Dom Alpha Ball missed the runner there, so he's missed his first 2 shots. Still 6-2 Broncos with the lead 3 minutes in. And part of what we're seeing, even with this year's Pepperdine team that went only 4-14 in regular season conference play. Tough pass, good catch, and the layup good. That's Butka underneath the basket.
I mean, put some shoulder pads on him, let him be a tight end. I mean, that was a snag. That was not an easy pass, and he kept his balance underneath him.
But Todorovic, Odom, they have some higher-end talent on this roster, despite the lack of success this year. That's a turnover. O'Neal had it taken away. So here come the Waves. Extra pass. Odom open 3. No good.
I like the unselfishness, though. And Pepperdine's a team that they can play very free here, right? Like, there's no expectation.
Wow, O'Neal went right by, then got caught in between.
No expectation and no defense on that possession either.
That was an Olay, big time.
Got it. They have to match up in transition, but you have to be able to close out to three-point shooters without giving up a straight line blow-by dribble.
Dozic trying to answer, couldn't do it. The tip no good. Santa Clara has the ball with an 8-4 lead. Winner takes on the top seed, St. Mary's. Bryan, left side, good!
3 threes already for the Broncos.
And Bryan's got a couple of those. He made 7 in the win in Spokane against the Zags. Had 35 points against Gonzaga. So he's capable of a big night. Part of the theme of this tournament so far through 3 days has been just big-time individual games. Odom, Todorovic, Will Johnston for LMU in their first win of this tournament.
It was the quarterfinals in 2020. You and I saw maybe the best individual performances in the history of this tournament. 2 guys going for 40. Kobe Ross, a great Pepperdine wave, and Jordan Ford.
An all-time game.
From St. Mary's. I mean, you 42 and 43 points combined between those 2 players.
That was the first time, right, in the history of Champ Week in any conference that 2 players in the same game had gone for 40-plus.
Is incredible.
First and only time. Tilly, shot clock starting to wind down. Here's Stewart for 3. He had a good open look. No good. Rebound, loose ball. And Pepperdine comes away with it.
Pretty good job rebounding those missed 3-pointers.
Nice pass. Odom again. And that's going to be a goaltend. Mo Odom, he can distribute the rock.
He can distribute the rock, but for Pepperdine, you're going to go to this first time out, and you're going to say, hey, number 1 on the scouting report was not allow Santa Clara to get open looks from beyond the arc. All they've gotten is open looks from beyond the arc, and they're up by 5.
Today, wherever you reach for refreshment, you'll find more choices with less sugar. In fact, nearly 60% of beverages Americans buy have 0 sugar. America's beverage companies are working together. We're delivering options like teas, sports drinks, sparkling waters, and a whole lot more. We know when it comes to reducing sugar in your family's diet, the more choices, the better. Learn more at balanceus.org.
Even when U.S. Women's National Team forward Mallory Swanson isn't on the field, she always makes the perfect play. Thanks to the Bank of America Customized Cash Rewards Visa Card, she'll earn 3% cash back on her purchase after choosing the online shopping category.
This is an ESPN Sonic blockbuster.
This is star power from the jump. The best of college basketball every Saturday on ESPN.
ESPN's exclusive presentation of college basketball is brought to you by Principal. Let's build a retirement and benefits plan that works for your team. As late afternoon turns to evening, the first day after daylight savings time has come upon us. 14:45 to go in the first half of this quarterfinal game. Sean was just talking about it a moment ago. An all-time great game 5 years ago on this quarterfinal night. It was Pepperdine and St. Mary's. Colby Ross for the Waves. Jordan Ford for St. Mary's. We're focusing on Ross because Pepperdine's playing in this game. 43 points in a double overtime game.
It was unbelievable. I mean, it's just shot after shot after shot. I had no idea how either one of those 2 guys were going to be able to walk the next day because they gave everything they had out on the floor. And you look at the most points in WCC tournament, a lot of Pepperdine Waves in there. There's a lot of great players and a great history. You know, trivia question.
Okay.
What program ended Bob Knight's tenure?
It's kind of a leading question, but you're right. Yeah, it's true.
At Indiana.
Yeah.
It's Pepperdine. Jan Van Bredikoff, Brandon Armstrong, Craig Lewis, Ed Suet, David Lalazarian.
Really good team.
Kelvin Gibbs.
Name them all.
They were a great team. Derek Anderson.
Keep going.
I coached all of them.
Napper in the game. Ensminger also in the game for Santa Clara. The Broncos a little deeper.
Little zone, though, on this possession. And you can play zone as long as you make sure you match up out of it. Otherwise, you're going to give up open threes.
Cam Tung, the veteran, took his time. Very patient move.
That's the versatility that Santa Clara has. They have great size. And, yeah, their size can shoot, but they can also post you up.
Tung, who averages 7 points a game, at times in his career has been more featured in the Santa Clara offense. Broncos roster is just loaded. Todorovic, no good on the 3.
I don't like that shot. It's too contested shot. You're going to get that anytime you want. Like, you got to move the ball and get a better look.
Tung just totally had that one come off his hand.
Don't
funny.
like that shot either.
No, that one you could tell right off the bat.
I mean, the only three-pointer I've seen that has fallen shorter than that one was when Mitchell Saxon took one up in Spokane that came up about 8 feet short of the hoop.
I can't wait to see Mitchell tomorrow and ask him about that.
You gotta shoot another three.
Hey, St. Mary's won that game, won the league. The 1 seed awaiting the winner of this game. Todorovic whips one across to Odom. The skip pass has been a big part of Pepperdine's offense the last couple nights.
Well, it shifts the defense, and sometimes it can create a seam for you to punch and attack right away.
I haven't seen Koulibaly involved at all yet. Tough shot. Odom used the glass and got it to go.
Man, he's playing with a lot of confidence, right? He's just got that little bounce about him.
He's playing great. He's been a total leader of this team. It's interesting to watch him during these games. Napper, they left him open for three, and that's perfect.
You cannot have breakdowns of miscommunication against Santa Clara, where you don't. If you bring two to the ball, or you have two guys off ball guarding one, you're giving up an open three.
Odom trying to answer. No. Rebound, Ensminger. Yeah, you get torched by Santa. If you leave them open, they will beat you. Period.
Yeah. They're too good. Like, that's another open, clean look.
They left him open again. He made another one. Especially egregious. It happens once, okay.
Can't happen the next possession with the exact same guy. Can't.
Bethea, left side. That one too strong. He's made some shots in this tournament so far. Here comes the Broncos trying to push tempo a little bit.
If Santa Clara is just a little bit patient here, they're going to have another wide open three. Because Pepperdine has had breakdowns on each of the last two possessions from deep.
Yeah, not a good sign for the Waves in the early going. Elijah Mahi, who's had some big scoring games for the Broncos. Here's Bryan. Went right by Todorovic. Elevated. Bryan, no. Rebound, Ensminger. Finds Napper. Wide open off the offensive board. Tip up, no good. Here comes Pepperdine. Odom tried to thread that one in there. That was tough. Tough pass, tough catch. It goes out of bounds.
5 made threes already for the Santa Clara Broncos, and the last two you're going to see have been wide open. No one in the area code. And that's not good for a team that can shoot the ball as well as they can. Herb Sendek's team and their offense rolling early here in the quarterfinals of the WCC.
Icy Hot Pro Massaging Balm. Easy to grip and massage, and the power of 2 max strength pain relievers. Ice works fast, heat makes it last. Icy Hot Pro Massaging Balm.
Even when U.S. Women's National Team forward Mallory Swanson isn't on the field, she always makes the perfect play. Thanks to the Bank of America Customized Cash Rewards Visa Card, she'll earn 3% cash back on her purchase after choosing the online shopping category.
March Madness! Bring out the stars! March Madness tips March 19th on ESPN and ABC.
This is an ESPN Sonic blockbuster.
This is star power from the jump. The best of college basketball every Saturday on ESPN.
Well, 11:44 to go, first half of this quarterfinal game, and the Santa Clara Broncos, Sean talked about it at the start, man, can they shoot from the outside? They're showing that off already.
Well, and it's the versatility. It's the multiple players that can get it done, Dave, and they spread the wealth, and they all feel very confident, and they have the freedom from Herb Sendek to do exactly what they want to do, and that's draw 2 to the ball, collapse the defense, then kick to an open shooter, and when you have clean looks, you make them. They're 5 of 9 from deep. That's 55%. They're shooting better from the three-point line than they are inside the arc. And it's such a balanced group.
Yeah, they do. They have a lot of options. We haven't really heard from Adama Alpha-Ball yet. In some ways, he's their highest upside player. Carlos Stewart made one of those 3. Tilly's been quiet. He just got in the game, and we haven't seen him take a shot yet. So those top scorers, they don't even have to have those guys involved to already have 19 on the board.
Well, and it's the unselfishness of this group, too. And they assist on almost 59% of their made field goals this season. And they're plus 15 from the three-point line in this game. So not only do they shoot it well, but they defend it well. You watch the shots that Pepperdine's gotten from beyond the arc. None of them have been clean. They've all been contested.
Brent Napper, who's made 2 of those threes already. He's a guy who played more minutes a couple years ago than he does these days, and Odom was harassing him, so Napper just said, okay, I'm going to try to go downhill, and he draws the foul.
That's the problem when you play Santa Clara, right? Because you know now your coach is taking you the timeout a couple times. Guys, 5 threes. They're killing us at the three-point line. We can't. You got to pressure up. Well, when you pressure up, it creates space. Your help side gets a little bit out of rotation because you're hugging your man too much. And then you allow a straight line drive and the trip to the free throw line.
Napper's already over his season average for points in the first few minutes of this game. Makes them both. It's 21-8 here. An 8-0 run for the Broncos. You love the spacing that Santa Clara's offense has.
I do, because it just creates so many great opportunities for each individual to thrive within the system. It's not just about one guy. You talked about Alpha Adama Ball being maybe the best prospect. And look, this is a program that obviously has an all-star in Jalen Williams that's thriving with the Oklahoma City Thunder. Brandon Pajemski, who came in and after one season gets drafted and is playing for the Golden State Warriors. Like, Alpha Adama Ball, a lot of people think could maybe end up being that guy. Don't think he's there yet. But they have other guys on this team that are really, really capable and good college basketball players.
Todorovic, maybe that'll get him going. He had a real slow start, real quiet start in Pepperdine's first game of this championship run, and since then has gotten it going. That is out of bounds off of Pepperdine.
A little bit of a miscommunication there by Napper, delivering a ball that Alpha Adama Ball wasn't ready for and wasn't supposed to get, because the coaches immediately got up and were like, no, that's not the play in which we're running here.
And you saw Napper kind of tap his chest like, my bad.
I do that all the time when we're broadcasting games together.
You've done it 3 times already in this game. Ball. I think you're doing fine.
Okay.
I mean, I have a few things written down for after the game, I'll tell you.
All right. I hope the bosses think I'm better than fine.
Mahi gave it up to Ball. That was a tough shot, just kind of a heave as the shot clock was expiring.
Much better defense on that possession, though. That was more spirited out of Pepperdine. You know, so much of defense is about effort, Dave. Like, can you dig in? Do you want to stay in a stance? Do you stay connected? Do you understand the principles? Are you disciplined enough when the game gets tough and when you're playing a good opponent to stay true to the principles in which your program has been built on? That's what makes good defensive teams. But regardless, pack line, pressure, doesn't matter.
Todorovic has to like that matchup. They came with double team help, so he found Odom, but the 3 went in and out. No good. One thing about Pepperdine, they're not going to panic. They were down 14 with, 12 minutes to go in their second round game and came back and beat Portland. Then a big upset last night against Oregon State to get to this quarterfinal game. Mahi into the corner.
Michael Ratai only 1 point in that game.
He took 4 shots from the field.
Played 36 minutes.
Tilly missed the layup. Gosh, he got right to the rim and then just missed it. Odom transition 3, and they do not call the foul. There was a little contact.
He was jumping forward. He didn't go straight up and straight down. Ooh.
Ensminger's kind of a good role player for Santa Clara, but not looking to score the way so many of his teammates are, and that wasn't a great pass.
No, this game's gotten a little sloppy here.
Yeah. Last few minutes, several of the Santa Clara starters waiting to get back in the game. Todorovic got good position. So maybe those free throws going in. He's got a little more bounce. Ball 3. That one in and out. No good. He's had a tough start to this game. That one off of Tilly out of bounds.
I think Pepperdine just needs to settle down just a little bit. I think part of the reason why they're struggling at the defensive end of the floor is because of their offense. And their offense, taking quick shots, long shots that are contested, then they're matching up, and they're not necessarily matching up the way that they need to match up in order to be successful defensively. When they've had good possessions down here, their defense has been good.
Wow, what a shot from Todorovic. Big time. A little 6-0 run for the Waves. Down only 7.
Santa Clara hasn't scored in over 2 minutes and 30 seconds.
Carlos Stewart goes to the basket, spins it in.
What a story for Carlos Stewart. He's here, transferred out, came back. It's kind of like you working with me, then Dan Dickow, now you're back working with me.
Dickow's LSU in this analogy.
He is.
Todorovic kind of off balance. Koulibaly couldn't follow. Now he dunks it home, plus he was fouled. He's had a good tournament.
He has. And he's their size, and he's their physicality underneath. You know, he just makes those little simple plays. All he has to do is be aggressive. 3 feet and in, finish strong. He does that right here and gets the foul and gets to the free throw line.
When he's involved, and look, he's not going to be shooting threes or jump shots or whatever, but when he's involved, they're a much better team.
Well, he had 12 and 11 versus Portland the other night on Friday.
Some big-time plays. Got in big foul trouble against Oregon State, and somehow Pepperdine worked their way through it, even though his minutes were really limited.
Well, he's got to stay out of foul trouble. He has 12 games of 4 or more fouls. He's fouled out of 5 of them.
Way too much. Ball hits Tilly in traffic, caught it, and he'll go to the free throw line. And Dozic, the freshman, I think maybe didn't realize he was in a good position to defend that play cleanly. Looked like he got him on the elbow.
Yeah, well, he just walls up, and when he walled up, though, he was moving into the shooter. Tony Padilla, Final Four national champion official on the call today. One of the best in the country to do it.
Tilly makes the first free throw. We've had good officials in this championship already, and we've had some controversial moments. We've had flagrant 2 fouls, back-to-back games. Yesterday we had players ejected because of flagrant 2s. 1 out of 2 for the big man Tilly.
The intensity wraps up a little bit in March. We saw that in that Alabama-Auburn game with Chad Baker-Mazara.
Yeah.
He's such an important component. Remember, he got ejected out of that game that they lost to Yale and James Jones in the first round of the NCAA tournament last year.
Yeah.
James Jones has done such a tremendous job with that program.
Ivy League regular season champs again. Olvera, who had that flagrant 2 for Pepperdine yesterday, gave it up to Odom. Odom passes it, and Koulibaly didn't get a shot on.
As a guard, you have to have awareness. You can't put your big man in that kind of position. But good fight from Pepperdine right now. I mean, this game is starting to slip away from them. They've done a better job defending the three-point line.
The Cantina chicken menu, but now it's caliente. Introducing the bold with Caliente Cantina chicken menu from Taco Bell. Here for a limited time.
Even when U.S. Women's National Team forward Mallory Swanson isn't on the field, she always makes the perfect play. Thanks to the Bank of America customized cash rewards Visa card, she'll earn 3% cash back on her purchase after choosing the online shopping category.
It's happening again. Bracket Brain. Tournament sites appearing at every turn? That's Bracket Brain. When Bracket Brain hits, tap into the #1 bracket game and play ESPN Tournament Challenge.
This is an ESPN Sonic blockbuster.
This is star power from the jump. The best of college basketball every Saturday on ESPN.
24-17, that's the Santa Clara lead in the first half of this quarterfinal game in the WCC Champ Week presented by Principal. And 2 quarterfinal games tonight, and then 2 semifinals tomorrow. What will lead us into the first semifinal game is in the SoCon. The men's championship game is set. Big upset today in the semifinals. Number 5 seed Furman over Chattanooga. So Furman and Wofford will go head-to-head for a spot in the NCAA tournament.
Yeah, UNC Greensboro lost to VMI early, so both the top seeds out of that event. Great tournament. I've called the championship of that event before. It's really a lot of fun year in and year out, and great coaches, a lot of competitive teams that really are fun to get after it at the offense.
You look at those names, those are teams that have created a little havoc, whether they've pulled off upsets or at least scared some power teams over the last many years. So that's the championship game tomorrow, 7 Eastern on ESPN. Dave Fleming, Sean Farnham here in Las Vegas tonight.
It's so good to be back with you, partner.
Really good. And we love this event. We've had so many great games over a lot of years of you and I being here. Pepperdine trying to keep their Cinderella run going. Johnny O'Neal, the big man.
Everybody can shoot. That's their 6 made 3. Pepperdine has 0. So while Pepperdine's getting 2s, Broncos are getting 3s. That's why they're up by 10.
Yeah, hard to keep up with Santa Clara if you can't shrink that discrepancy a little bit. Todorovic can do it. Koulibaly, good catch. Now he'll go up and get fouled. Whistle came a little late. Herb Sendek wasn't thrilled with that foul call.
You go down the previous possession for Santa Clara. Watch a little flare, just a little movement. Like, that's what they do so well in their offense, the spacing, is as the dribble starts to come, they relocate, and every bounce, they move in sync, like there's a string between the two of them pulling them further apart.
Second foul against Tilly. Part coaching. Herb Sendek's one of the best X's and O basketball coaches in the country, period. He's been doing it for a long, long time. So part of it's that. Part of it, I think, just my opinion, is continuity. A lot of these guys have played together in an era in college basketball where you get new teams every year. Santa Clara has kept this nucleus together for several seasons in a row.
Teams that don't suffer from mass transferring usually do build into something better. And that's getting harder and harder at this level based on if you're really good, then teams and programs are going to want you. And there's bigger NIL money. Yep. There's a lot of things that can start to pull guys away. So it's a credit, really, to Herb Sendek and his coaching staff, the job that they've done over the years. Scott Garson is one of their offensive coordinators. He's done a tremendous job, and he's ready to be a head coach. Like, somebody should hire him in the West Coast that's going to make a move this offseason. Because you watch how this offense flows, a lot of it has come because he has been so in sync with Herb Sendek.
Stewart, again, aggressive move, and he'll go to the free throw line.
And there's Herb and Jason Ludwig, and you see Scott Garson walking right behind him. But Herb Sendek has won everywhere he's gone. Whether it was NC State, Arizona State, Santa Clara, he's got pros, Julius Hodge, James Harden. He's got 2 guys here. Santa Clara didn't have a player drafted since Steve Nash, who we talked about earlier, who went to Santa Clara. And all of a sudden they get 2 in back-to-back years.
Steve Nash's famous win in the NCAA tournament, he and Santa Clara. Stewart, no. Rebound out of bounds. Pepperdine lost it, so the Broncos will keep it. They beat Pepperdine in the WCC championship game that year to get to the NCAA tournament. Then they took down the 2-seed Arizona in an all-time great Santa Clara moment.
It reminds me, seeing North Carolina State there.
Yes. You're getting emotional about it?
No, it's just hard to believe that they got rid of Kevin Keats today.
Yeah, if you want evidence of how this business is a tough business, last year, not 5 years ago, not 2 years ago.
Final Four.
Last year, NC State was in the Final Four. Today, coach gone. That's tough. Broncos possession keeps going. O'Neal, well, they didn't guard him again, and he hits another 3. He's got a lot of range. You got to be out there on him.
You can't leave him that wide open. You can't. You have to have awareness that 5 guys on the floor can shoot at all times.
He's also 6'11", so he can elevate it and get that release way up there. He is tough to guard. Another 3-pointer made. That's 7 already for Santa Clara. Stewart trying to keep Odom from getting the ball. Stewart, though, got pinned by that screen. Then he fell down. Odom makes him pay.
First 3 of the game for the Waves.
They need a little more of that. Pepperdine does. Mahi against Olvera. Picked up his dribble. Tongue working against a shot blocker, but he found O'Neal this time for the right corner. In and out. Tongue offensive rebound, then his pass got deflected. Odom comes away with it. Odom goes all the way with the left hand. That was a big sequence for Pepperdine. A 3 popped in and out, and it leads to a layup on the other end. Stewart, crossover move. Air ball. Out of bounds and off of Santa Clara.
Well, Odom's the guy that can really get going for Pepperdine. They need him to, and it starts with the 3. They hadn't made any from beyond the arc, and he steps right into this one as they go underneath the screen. And then in transition, his ability to take the steal, get the pass, and then just run out ahead. He's playing with so much swagger and confidence. I mentioned it. 3 consecutive double-doubles.
Yeah, it's not just the scoring. The passing has been incredible. Todorovic over to Olvera. The freshman hits the three.
Well, he's had some big games this year, too, for him. They like back against Gonzaga. He had 27 points in that matchup against the Zags.
Snapper all the way to the bucket.
This game's got better flow to it now, partner.
Much better. And give Pepperdine credit. They're hanging around. This has been the theme of this tournament for them in a lot of ways. Resilience. Been some moments where it looked like they were toast. Odom, wow, somehow got it back to Todorovic. Finds Olvera, elbow area, jumper goes.
How about getting a freshman that can come off the bench and just catch and shoot the way he can?
Good confident couple moves from Jackson Olvera. Freshman from Houston, Tongue drives and dunks off the great bounce pass. Back and forth we go. What a tournament for Mo Odom. Hesitation, boom, and then the lob, Coulibaly.
How about the layoff by Odom?
Tremendous. He's been doing that all week. That's his 4th assist. He's got 9 and 4 in this first half. Bryan gets fouled by Olvera.
We'll talk about three-point shooting for most of the game and how important it's been for Santa Clara, but their last possession, they were able to get downhill. Great bounce pass. It was screen, slip it, roll, and finish above the iron. And Odom, he's bringing everything in the bag right now. Make him step to you and then open it up on the back end. Three-point game. Let's go, Dave. It's March.
The cantina chicken menu, but now it's caliente.
Si vienen por un beneficio, tengo espíritus que me cuidan. Yo soy un ángel en la tierra, me tiran la mala y no me desaniman. Bloqueada el saco, cerrada el pecho, no escucho ni lo que mi mente me diga. Me busqué un par de huevos bacanos pa' mi cuente habla, me dice mentira.
Introducing the bold new Caliente Cantina chicken menu from Taco Bell. Here for a limited time.
Si vienen por un beneficio, tengo espíritus que me cuidan.
Even when U.S. Women's National Team forward Mallory Swanson isn't on the field, she always makes the perfect play. Thanks to the Bank of America customized cash rewards Visa card, she'll earn 3% cash back on her purchase after choosing the online shopping category.
It's happening again. Bracket Brain. Tournament sites appearing at every turn? That's Bracket Brain. When Bracket Brain hits, tap into the #1 bracket game and play ESPN Tournament Challenge.
All right, look forward to that. And it is a good point about you do get nervous, I think, as a coach when your team has been sitting around like Santa Clara has. This is their tournament debut. Pepperdine, meanwhile, playing their 3rd game already here in Vegas.
There's 2 ways, right? You think about endurance and what that means for Pepperdine. But I look at it from the standpoint of nobody expected Pepperdine to be here.
Yeah.
Like these guys they just go out and ball. Go out and play and let it loose. They've been really efficient inside the arc. The difference, clearly, what's going on at the three-point line. It's kind of like the difference of Dallin Cuff in studio right now. Earlier today, he's on Sports Center. He's got the telestrator out, doing the final play of the Auburn-Alabama game. Now he's hosting. Yep. His versatility is one of one.
Very versatile young man.
The pride of Columbia.
Lions got to get the basketball program revved up a little bit. Tongue had his shot rejected by Coulibaly. I don't think it's a coincidence. Coulibaly's come to life, and so have the Waves. Todorovic hits the 3 to tie this game.
I mean, that is just outstanding transition. Find Odom, throw ahead. Don't over-dribble.
Coulibaly much more active on both ends, and that has sparked Pepperdine along with the continued outstanding play of Odom. And Todorovic, shots going down for him. Adama Alpha Ball been real quiet in this first half. Bryan, they double team him. Shot clock winding down. Tongue will shoot the 3. Too strong? Maybe. Yes. Tongue follows his own miss. He had so much time, it hung in the air. He finally said, well, I'm going to go get that myself.
He was bouncing on the rim like it was Kawhi Leonard against the Raptors. The only difference is it didn't go in. And it wasn't, to advance to the NBA Finals. But outside of that, same thing.
Slightly different stakes and circumstances. But, this is a championship tournament game here. Olvera wants some help. Coulibaly gives it back to him, and the freshman. Air ball.
Defense to offense, Pepperdine tightening things up a little bit at this end of the floor. Good job walling up underneath, and then the block shot, and then immediately get in transition, run ahead. Just get your feet set and let it grip.
Well, you mentioned what Pepperdine did to get ready for this game, and it was the two stars who played almost every minute of this tournament, Odom and Todorovic, who are playing well again tonight. He said, Ed Schilling told us, cold tubs for everybody, lots of recovery stuff, and then the IV treatments for both Todorovic and Odom. Ball attacks the basket, foul before the shot. And Ed said, hey, that they thought it made a big difference. They were feeling a lot better.
A lot of people get IVs here in Vegas.
I see the ads all over.
They usually get them for very different reasons.
I see the ads everywhere on the casino
Not because they're playing 40 minutes of college basketball.
No.
It's big business.
Seems to be popular here. Under 2 minutes to go, first half.
Any truth to the rumors you were with Tiesto last night?
Yeah, we were hanging, you know. He and I run in the same circles anyway. Ball hits the three.
He's a big Giants fan? I knew it.
Is Tiesto at MGM these days?
Yes.
Yeah. It's a big name in town. We had Jeffrey Osborne here singing the national anthem yesterday. Did you know that?
I didn't until you just told me, but I also know this. We got ourselves a good game, partner.
On the wings of love.
Let's start the bidding at $5 million. Thank you, sir.
These people of privilege, hoarding the financial advantages for far too long.
0.5 at the back.
Look at them, unaware that Robin Hood Gold members now enjoy the VIP treatment.
$10 million on the
A
right.
3% IRA match on retirement contributions.
$11 million, sir.
Once they discover their privileges are no longer exclusive, their fragile reality will plunge into disarray.
People want to define Gen Z, but that's our job.
I wait tables, but last week I built a field hospital. I put out a forest fire. I stopped 1,000 attackers.
And a natural disaster.
I've saved lives and led a team on patrol.
I serve.
Well, I go to school full time while I work full time.
The greater the challenge, the stronger we become.
1:43 to go first half, and Sean said it as we were going to break. It's been a spirited half here in this quarterfinal game in the WCC. SantaClara got off to a good start and a 13-point lead. Pepperdine has come roaring back. The deficit is 5. Mo Odom, little floater, no good. Rebound, Coulibaly tried to shovel it to Odom, and it goes out of bounds.
You're spot on, though. Coulibaly, when he got engaged in this game, all of a sudden, everything got a little bit easier for everyone. I mean, that dunk that is just worth 2 points, but then got fouled. Like, it was a big moment to get him engaged in this game, and their defense has tightened up a little bit. And offensively, you see them playing with much better purpose.
Ball, quick release on the three, no good.
They got a little bit cooler from beyond the arc. They still have 8 made threes here in the first half.
Another lob, this time not a dunk finish, but a little tip-in finish from Coulibaly. And a great assist from Mo Odom again. Gosh, is he playing well. Bryant into the lane, down low to Tongue. Tongue contested, and a whistle came.
Let's be honest, it's March, right? If you're a point guard from Pepperdine and you look at the bench and you're like, is that Tyus Edney over there?
Yeah.
I mean, Mr. March himself for UCLA's national championship run with that amazing end-to-end. But he was such a great champion at UCLA, and a big addition to Ed Schilling's staff, because if you're a young guard and you don't want to learn from Tyus Edney, I got a lot of questions for you.
Yeah, it was so fun to see the other night when Odom had his incredible finish to the game, where Pepperdine came roaring back and won in the second round of this tournament. At the end of that game, Odom and Tyus Edney together had a moment of celebration on the court. It was really cool to see.
Tyus, one of the nicest people you'll ever meet as well.
And every single year in the NCAA tournament, that highlight that will be played forever at the start of that championship run for the Bruins. It's one of the great end-of-game plays in college basketball history. Todorovic, tough catch. Shot clock down to 3. He's going to measure up, and no good. SantaClara has it. Shot clock is off.
And just hold this. Obviously, you want the final shot here. Going to go to the half with at least a 4-point lead. I think you're going to bring an on-ball screen. Here it comes. And then they're going to look to get downhill, and if you help off, they're looking at the shooter. There it is.
Exactly what they did. Brian, though, will attack with the left hand. No!
A better pass, and that's a 3-point shot for Brian. He didn't handle it clean, so he had to drive to the hoop.
And Kulabov.